I am your audience host, Shay McCray. Now, times we always get a woman's perspective from things, but this time we're going to do things a little different. We have an all-male panel with an all-males perspective. Are you guys ready for the questions that I have to ask them?
Yeah.
I would like to introduce the panel of XY Explain Why show.
Hi, I'm David Fritch. Born and raised in a suburb outside of Detroit, Michigan, and I've been in Atlanta for 20 years now.
I'm Kieran McLeod, born and raised in the United Kingdom. I like to fight beetles. Believe it or not, crazy thing, people don't understand. But fighting beetles is like, it's a massive thing to do. And now I'm living in Atlanta. Crazy.
So Evan Craig, my stage name is E. Craig. I'm known around Atlanta for making Americans smile again. Comedian that's been doing comedy for 7 years in the local area.
My name is Blake Lafita. I'm an actor, musician, and I'm from Tampa Bay, Florida. And I moved here not 7 or 8 months ago.
Put your hands together for the panel. The first topic, alpha versus beta. Ooh. What is an alpha male or female?
Yeah, I guess it was. Everyone's perspective is different when it comes to alpha male or alpha female. I mean, I guess some people would say an alpha male is someone that's, in life, in their career, they know what they want, they're forward, they're straight to the point. It's everything is for them. So what I would say an alpha male and a female as well. But once again, everyone's perspective might be different on what an alpha male or female is.
Yeah, I don't really know what my credentials would be on speaking to what it really means to be either one of those things. But I know that there are times in life where it certainly feels like you have an edge on this whole thing, and then it certainly feels like you're kind of falling behind. And so in that way, I really think that alpha beta is a mindset, and I think mindsets are transparent. So I think those roles are transparent. I don't think they really belong to any one person, especially not to any one gender,
Yeah, no, I agree exactly what you're saying. That too, a lot of people don't realize a lot of guys that might try to act, all tough are really beta males, or they try to overcompensate for it. And a lot of guys are more relaxed or reserved, are actually alpha males. They just don't have to tell everyone. They don't have to wear the shirt that says, "Hey, just so you know, I'm an alpha male." Or vice versa with an alpha female or beta female. They don't have to really, tell. So, but I think more with personalities, I do think there's a difference between a type A and a type B more than alpha beta. Which we got time. We can definitely get into that.
Yeah, but I reckon with that, I would like to think someone has to lead and someone has to follow. I feel like whether you put people in a category or a box, whatever the case may be, people have to lead and some people have to follow. That's just the rules of life to someone.
Well, that's the basic, what it comes down to is a leader and a follower.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you only have certain people that have enough confidence in themselves to be able to lead people. And some people, and everybody else, just kind of follow along.
So what's your definition of a beta male and female?
Yeah, I guess it was. Everyone's perspective is different when it comes to alpha male or alpha female. I mean, I guess some people would say an alpha male is someone that's, in life, in their career, they know what they want, they're forward, they're straight to the point. It's everything is for them. So what I would say an alpha male and a female as well. But once again, everyone's perspective might be different on what an alpha male or female is.
Yeah. I don't really know what my credentials would be on speaking to what it really means to be either one of those things. But I know that there are times in life where it certainly feels like you have an edge on this whole thing, and then it certainly feels like you're kind of falling behind. And so in that way, I really think that alpha beta is a mindset, And I think mindsets are transparent, so I think those roles are transparent. I don't think they really belong to any one person, especially not to any one gender, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree exactly what you're saying. That too, a lot of people don't realize a lot of like guys that might try to act, all tough are really like beta males, or they try to overcompensate for it. And a lot of guys are more relaxed or reserved, are actually alpha males. They just don't have to tell everyone. They don't have to wear the shirt that says, "Hey, just so you know, I'm an alpha male." Hey, just or vice versa with an alpha female or beta female. They don't have to really, tell. So, but I think more with personalities, I do think there's a difference between a type A and a type B more than alpha beta. Which we got time. We can definitely get into that.
Yeah, but I reckon with that, I would like to think someone has to lead and someone has to follow. I feel like whether you put people in a category or a box, whatever the case may be, people have to lead and some people have to follow. That's just the rules of life to someone.
Well, that's the basic. What it comes down to is a leader and a follower.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you only have like certain people that have enough confidence in themselves to be able to lead people, and some people and everybody else just kind of follow along.
Sex, like whether it's the man or the woman, like never really has any substantial part in it for me. So like a beta male is just the quality of a person who feels as though they need to step back and not be so much right now. Be a little more. I think it's just the fact of being internal is what it is to be beta.
I mean, I agree with that because I think you can have leaders. I mean, just look at our government, our former administration. Very much, made himself an alpha by bossing people around, but very insecure.
Completely unwise.
You can be 100% alpha male if you're insecure.
Not always.
So it's kind of
I
hard.
think if they know how to deal with their,
Insecurity.
it can be a mindset where you can be completely insecure,
Top heavy.
or you can be an alpha and know how to treat people underneath you and how to guide people in the right way.
Do you believe that whether you're alpha or beta starts from when you're a child?
I think it all depends on how we're raised. Conditioning. So it's a conditioning. So, you have some kids that are encouraged to go out there and just take on the world, and other kids are just encouraged to be kind of sit back and let other people do the thing. But then some people get out there that are raised that way, and they feel like there's more. Like there has to be something. They don't feel like it's enough for them, and then they take it upon themselves to work towards those things that get them to where they want to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the way my parents raised me was, look, go out there and make something happen, because no one ain't gonna give you nothing. So that was installed in me from my young age, you know what I mean? So I've always had the confidence, and my confidence like a stain, don't even wipe up, you know what I mean? Where it's like, go get it, make it happen, and that's what it is. Now, if I get put in a category where I'm an alpha male, then so be it. But at the same time, for me, it's been installed in me, so that's where I'm at.
Close mouth and I get fed. So
Yeah, and it's just a slingshot.
it's a slingshot. It's just true non-fictional stories we're talking about. I mean, I was taught at a young age, you see something you want to go after it, and you should go after it 100%. The champion is not someone that works 100 hours a week, but someone that works 100% of the time that they're out there working on their craft or their job or whatever the case is.
And you do the bending. We do the bending ourselves, which is what you're talking about, Dave. Yeah, we got to do the bending. Where does that gumption come from, though? Isn't that the mystery? It sounded like it was kind of instilled, raised into you, nature nurture.
But David also made a good point, because yes, it can be instilled in you, but when it's instilled in you when you're in a closed environment, to going out in the wilderness, it's a completely different ballgame. Because like I said, yes, you can be instilled in you, but if you don't have that ability, that passion, that drive to go through, because life is a funny thing, you're gonna get knocked down plenty of times. But if you don't keep going and driving, because we never know how close we really are to what we're trying to achieve, whatever the case may be. But if you don't keep going, you're never gonna know, right?
Can two alpha males or females have a successful relationship?
I do, because
Explain.
I definitely feel two alphas can, because in a situation, two alpha females, they know they are comfortable in their skin, and they're comfortable to know when to fold them or hold them. And they would say, I am a poker player as well. So that's like a thing. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And a lot of times, betas don't really, a beta male, female, they might not know, or there might be a situation where one won't take the lead, but I feel two alphas would be able to figure it out.
So do you believe two beta can have a successful relationship?
Define success. I mean, I still think it can work out, but I feel that two alphas, I mean, I guess two alphas, that would be considered what they call a power couple these days. Like, you know, like maybe like, you know, you can look at like, you know, popular celebrity couples like Will Smith and Jada Smith. I would say those are, you know, alpha male, alpha female. They've had a good relationship. You know, they've worked in Hollywood. I mean, everyone's gonna have bumps and grinds. It doesn't really matter, but it seems like their problems are probably better than the average couple's problems.
Are you talking about the entanglement?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
carry on.
But every couple, you know, has problems. I mean, they're both very, very successful in their industry. I'm sure that the entanglement is not as bad. Not as bad as if, you know, it's two people, you know, in a different situation. The problems would be a lot worse. And, you know, so I think that I do feel that two alphas can make it work. That's probably what attracted them. You know, you can do maybe like the Obamas or something. You know, I would say they're both, you know, alpha, beta male. You know, or both alpha male, alpha female.
Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. More from our all-male panel from the XY Explain Why show. Welcome back to the XY Explain Why show. I am your audience host, Shay McCray. Now, the first topic got a little heated when we started talking about the alpha versus beta, male or female. This one is even more interesting. We're talking about men and women being friends. Are you guys ready for my next question? Yeah. Can a male and female be friends without any past or future sexual attractions or episodes?
Hell no. No.
I'm gonna have to go on the opposite spectrum. Hell, motherfucker, yeah. For real, like it's like some of my best friends are women, like for real. Like, you know, it's never been like, you know, one's tried to talk to the other. So I think that it's very good. Like the friend zone is cool, and it happened a lot. It happens vice versa, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's how my man here, you know, has his girl, you know, friends on, and you know, he talking.
So that is the perfect example.
What?
So you said they become friend zoned. So if you are in a relationship and you have someone who's now in the friend zone, but you're also in a relationship, do you think that person or your significant other will be okay with you still being friends with that person?
I mean, they have to be, like, it's like...
Oh,
have to.
have to.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just, like...
Explain.
You gotta understand, it's basically, I look at it like if you're friends with someone of the opposite sex, that's like your significant other saying you can't be friends with one of your homies.
Wait, the homies you don't like at one point and then friend zone them.
Oh, no, okay.
That's not true. That's not saying she got hurt. That's all right.
I'm going to rescue here. Look, I think if you believe that there is such a thing as mutual trust, then you can understand the concept of having opposite sex heterosexual friendships. It's not unheard of to be attracted to someone of your, like, you know, this is all from the premise of heterosexuality as well, which I need to point out. Because men and women are not innately going to have some sort of like sexual contention out of just like being, you know, if we're in a heteronormative situation and there's a man and a woman who maybe like have had attraction to one another in the past, it's gonna be confusing. And I think ultimately, as long as a conversation can happen and you can be real with each other about like, look, we've tried being platonic. Sometimes you have to say goodbye. Sometimes you do. That definitely is a real thing that you need to know when it's time to do. But like, I don't think it's unheard of to have two heterosexual people of the opposite sex to be friends.
Yes, that's very true.
And your partner hopefully understands that and can see that your friendship is truly platonic.
Well, it depends how secure the person is with themselves.
Right, that's, I was just about to go there.
Right,
Right.
right.
So
Talk to
really
alpha
insecure
females.
people are not going to be okay with that.
Yeah, so that's a
Talk to alpha females.
Yeah.
Remember, they secure. The alpha female will be okay with it. But normally, as women say, we start off as friends anyway before we start dating. So a lot of times you might meet someone at work, or like at school, or just catching the same bus, or going to the same social event. So you started off as friends anyway, and sometimes it might lead to more. A lot of times it just leads to we just friends.
Well, let me correct you on that. Most men start off as friends. Women, when they go in, they already think that you the man. I'm letting you know that now, okay? That's what they put on their mind.
That's you know what? Thank you.
Good
for bringing
point, right?
Yeah, very good point. Now, effective communication is where it stands, right? If you take this with a grain of salt. If you verbalize what you want as it's just friends and that's it, lines shouldn't be crossed. But as humans, one is gonna fall for each other, whether it's I like his personality or I just like him being alpha male or whatever the case may be. But if you specify and say, look, I'm not trying to cross these lines, because if you cross these lines, the friendship is no longer going to be there anymore. It's going to be ruined. So I feel like, once again, it's just me personally. I think if you have that open, effective communication, you can be friends. That's just my personal.
I don't agree with that.
Oh, come on,
I think,
David. Really?
no, because I think you can have two people that, like, you have to look at, if your mindset is that it's going to lead to something more, then that's where you're both going to be.
Yeah, but okay, you're talking about two individuals or what?
Right.
It's gonna be
But
two
so, like,
individuals.
if you're friends for a long time,
Yeah.
and something happens, you could just say, well, that happened.
And
It
forget
was an
about it.
experience that we shared, but we're not really feeling that way about each other. Like,
Yeah, but then
as far as a relationship goes, it was just something that happened.
And I get-
you can go, but there's always going to be people who are maybe more into that like person than the other person is into that.
I agree. Do you believe that can ruin a long time friendship after going there?
Probably in most cases, yes, because most people aren't secure enough to like have it be a separate thing.
if you're friends for, say for instance, you're friends, this is my opinion, you're friends from school days, high school days, and you're just friends, you travel the world or whatever the case may be, and you're just great friends, you have that relationship, you know what I mean? And everyone knows what it's like to have a good friend, you know what I mean? A good friendship where you can depend on that person, left, right, center. And I feel like if you cross those lines, whether it's sexual intercourse, whatever the case may be, and then it doesn't work out, that's not my personal opinion. It's not going to go back to where it was. You're not going to have that solitude of that friendship, that basic. That's not going to be there. That's gone out the window because you've crossed lines.
Well, that's what she was asking.
No, I know what you're saying. I was backing up what I was saying.
But I think some friendships can have benefit packages too, just depends.
That's the single guy. Let's not forget.
I mean,
Elaborate.
it just depends on the friendship. Like some friendships got benefit packages. Other friendships can be, acquaintance type, friend group type friendship. And then you got friendships where, y'all are actually like really good friends. You have a lot in common, but at the end of the day, you don't cross that line ever. So I don't think all men, women friends are created equally. Some are created differently. But I do feel that all men, women friendships matter. You know what I'm saying? They just are different things. And some friends, yeah, we have a little benefit package. You know what I'm saying? So
That doesn't surprise me.
that doesn't surprise you.
No, not at all.
Do you need any friends?
You know, that right there. So, I know you're married, right? Okay, so let me ask you this. If your wife introduces you to a guy friend, a male friend, and said, hey, I dated him, 7 years ago,
Oh, I'm calling the FBI. Yo, I need to check up on this.
but we are just friends. It didn't work out, and here we are, just friends.
Yeah.
Is that acceptable?
It's acceptable because she's being open and honest.
And they hanging out, and they going to the mall together, and they probably go out to eat and stuff like that.
Oh, hear me out.
Go like that, bro. I can't let you go out.
Hear me out. And see, this is the thing. It's acceptable because she's open and honest. Now, I'm secure about our relationship, and I have the trust. You have to trust people to a certain degree until that trust is broken. Now, once again, as individuals and in personal choices, if you're going to go back there, then that's your personal choice. No matter what I say, it's not going to make a difference. You're going to do what you want to do, regardless of what I say and what we have. Now, if you feel going back to your past is, I know, something great for you, or you want to re-spark or kindle whatever you had, that's your prerogative, that's your choice. But guess what? Hey, you had something special over here. We're not going to go back and forth and say, oh, it was a mistake, it was a drunken moment. We're not doing any of that. You knew what you was doing in the moment, you wanted to rekindle something, and now you're going to miss out on something which you had, because obviously you thought the grass was greener over here, and now you're in dirty water, so you can stay over there in the dirty water, and over here I'm going to do what I'm doing, and that's just where we're at with that.
I wouldn't even let you be able to go out like that. They used to date, like it's different. Like if she said, okay, we were friends and we studied together,
Yeah.
that's one thing, but we dated, we tried to make this work. One of those two people are gonna want more feelings.
Very true, but the past, you can't judge someone. You can't ultimately think, well, you know what, yeah, they did that, but you said that's where the trust comes in. You have to allow to trust that person. If you don't, if trust is not there, it's never going to work. You're always going to think, well, you know what, damn, what are they doing? That plays in your subconscious mind all the time when she's going out with that person. You have to allow yourself to be like, you know what, I will give you that trust.
I never get
So use
insecure.
the example of like 7 years have gone by, this person comes back
Yeah.
into their life, and she just views it as a friend, and they're just friends. Like, are you gonna be okay with that?
I'm
Or-
perfectly fine with
I
it.
mean, or do you feel like it would be better for her to, the sooner the better, to introduce him or her to the current partner so that they can like understand that this is just friendship, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but people say that, and they say that all the time, you know what I mean? It's just a friendship, but yet the people are still going to do what they want to do, you know what I mean? So it's still a personal choice.
So pretty much you don't trust it.
No, I
That's what I'm
trust
getting
it.
from you.
I mean, I trust it until the trust is broken. That's where I'm at with it.
I look at it, I mean, unless maybe like, all right, like say this, if you're married and he's married and y'all are both married, I mean, you kind of then.
What? There's still a possibility, right?
There's
I was
still a
gonna say
possibility.
most married couples cheat.
There you go, it's
I'm
still a
confused.
possibility.
I mean, there's a possibility, but you kind of have to let it slide.
Why? Because they're married?
Because they're married. I mean, y'all gonna be on double dates a lot. Like you kind of. I mean, you
They
got.
don't want to be
Why
doing
would
the
you let it
most.
slide? Why would you let it slide?
I mean, you kind of. I mean, you said you trust your partner.
I trust my partner.
So then you gotta let. But if he's single and she married, like nah, that just
Well,
ain't gonna. That's just not gonna
What's
work.
he doing there?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But why you guys are prejudging is of the status of the title because
Yeah.
they're married. They're not, they trust. They're not going to do
I
anything.
think the circumstances are way too intellectualized right now because I think here I'm the Jedi. I'm gonna say search your feelings. It's really always gonna be about how the situation feels. You're gonna be able to smell it the second that it comes in the room. The eyes never lie. There's usually evidence when something weird is going on, and there's usually a change in behavior if there's cheating. There's a change in your patterns. If you're being in love in a certain way, and then all of a sudden, once this person comes in and they start hanging out and whatever, and your love is like severely warped because of that, maybe you'll be able to smell what's cooking before anything really comes to a head. But what you're saying, if you trust in your love, if you trust in what's meant to happen is what's meant to be, yada yada, then you should allow for things to play out. You have to let things play out, because then you can't be putting your foot down without a warrant. You can't be having no reason to force control over things just out of your anxiety and paranoia. It's never going to work out well.
But I will say this: there's some male or female that are very good at playing both sides, married or not married, cheating or not cheating. You know what I mean? And some people can't tell whether there's been a change or dynamic in the relationship or marriage. You know what I mean? Some people can't tell.
Start garnering awareness and communication. Then,
Very true,
you
but
know?
then let's just say some people choose to ignore it and feel like, oh, why my partner would never know, would never do that because they feel like they know their partner very well, whether you be married to him something plus years, you know what I mean? So,
I think they know, they just don't want to admit it.
well, that's another thing,
Yeah.
you know what I
It's
mean?
denial. They just want to deny it.
And if you live in denial, you know what happens, it keeps on happening over and over and over again, and then, you know, the cycle doesn't get broken.
So the introduction could just be a cover-up. If I introduce you as a past friend, whatever we're doing, they would never know, pretty much. That's what I'm getting from you, right?
That's pretty sinister, you know. I would hope that like if I'm madly in love with someone, they wouldn't do me like that. And if something that sinister were to happen, like I probably had it coming, because there's probably more than just one behavioral pattern going on that's showing the wickedness of a person who would do something like that. You don't just turn around and have a whole operation of mistrust going on while everything else is in order. If you're in touch with your partner, if you're in touch with the patterns of your relationship and you're actively garnering more experiences and you're growing together, it's never, the chamber that you two share is untouchable by anybody else. And your awareness of that untouchable area of love is enhanced the more experiences you share together. So something as backdoor as like using the guise of a friend to cheat, that is so manipulative that there are probably more things going on that you're going to notice if that's what's going on. Am I making sense? Does
You're
that
in a
make
bad
making
relationship
sense.
if that's going on.
you're making yourself a fool because you're not paying any attention.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the XY Explain Why show. I am your audience host, Shay McCray. Well, we've heard from our all-male panel. Now it's time to hear from our audience. The question for our audience today is cheating a deal breaker and why?
Is cheating a deal breaker and why? I'm going to go on the limb and say yes, it is a deal breaker. Why? Because if you have to hide it, it's not good.
Okay. Well, who is there to say that they're hiding it?
That's what makes it cheating. If I know about it, you didn't cheat.
Okay, good point, good point. All right. Can we hear from our ladies?
I will say cheating is a deal breaker. Why is because, you know, you was in a relationship and now you're not being faithful. So I definitely would say it is a deal breaker.
Okay. Can we get anyone from the front?
I think it depends on what type of relationship you're in. If you like you said before, y'all like said that y'all are in a relationship like boyfriend girlfriend, then it's different than if you guys are just talking. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think in general it's a deal breaker.
All right. Well, as you have heard from our audience, we would like to get back to our all-male panel. Hi, guys. Is cheating a deal breaker and why? Don't be shy now. You asked all the hard questions
I'll go
before.
first. So I think it depends on how far into the relationship you are. So like if you've only been dating for like a couple of months and you haven't established like that you're in a committed relationship, then I would say no. It's not a deal breaker. But if you've been dating for like 6 months, a year or something like that, and then you don't know that that's happening, then yeah, there's trust that gets broken in that sense.
Once I hear from two parties, two individuals that are in a relationship, once those words are being crossed paths, we're in a relationship, and if someone steps out, you not knowing, it's cheating. And I feel like there's levels of cheating as well. Is it a deal breaker? Depends on the level of cheating and the disrespect that comes into it. So I feel like that's like I said, everyone's different. Some people can tolerate, some people say, okay, well, maybe it was just a cheeky kiss, or maybe I was drunk, or maybe it was a cheeky kiss. Maybe it was obviously sexual intercourse, but there's just levels to it. And I feel like, to me, it is a big deal breaker. If it was a cheeky kiss, I'd be like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would be mad. Be
So
angry.
then what's to say that the next
Not even
time it becomes more than a kiss?
I guess it just begs a different. I mean, at the same time, it's like you're gonna either forgive and try and forget, or not forget, or you're just gonna go forward. It's up to you. So it's one of those things, you know.
So is it a deal breaker if somebody that was in that position, like they went out with somebody, they shared a kiss, or they got drunk and blamed it on the alcohol and had sex, and your partner came back to you and said, this happened?
That you had sex?
Yes. So,
but that's-
because they're coming to you, you're not finding out about it like months later after it happened from somebody else. Like, they're being honest. with
Very
you
true.
that it
But then sex and a kiss is two different things, though.
happened. They are two different things.
So that I feel like that level of you having sex that's going far and beyond, you know what I mean? Having a cheeky kiss now. It's like, I'm talking about it's a kiss on the cheek or a kiss, whatever the case is. But I feel like once you go to that levels, or you want to stay, that's strike three now. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing with the kiss, but you're going to another level when you're having sex.
Mm-hmm.
So that, for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
I guess it goes back to what do you define as
As
cheating
cheating, yeah.
in a relationship?
Yep.
So of course, I would like to hear from my fellow guys over here, the single one and the long distance relationship
Oh,
one.
single. I
Just outed me.
would say it's a deal breaker. I mean, it really like my man was saying, it really depends on the situation and like the level of disrespect. Like if you come home, like if y'all live together and you come home to your significant other
They in your bed, right?
in your bed, yeah, that's just like totally disrespectful. But if she goes to like Cancun or DR and talks to someone else, I'd be like, hey, I'm glad you had fun. You know?
Okay. So if she's out of the state, it's okay.
Out of the state, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like not 100%. I mean, I look at it like there's different levels of cheating. Like women normally are cheating to upgrade, whereas men are just kind of doing it for the thrill. So if they're not really trying to replace you for the other person, is it really just cheating, or are they just doing what a man would do, as in just try to just explore the options and just have some fun?
Good point.
So, is the severity
He just
of
flicked me. Oh man, flicked me off and on.
Flicking them off.
is the severity between those two sexes different? Do you think? Like, so you're saying that the intention behind cheating is different for men and women.
Exactly.
Is the severity different then?
It's the same.
Like, it's
I
the
don't
same.
think so,
Same.
but I think society looks at it differently. So
Here's
society
what-
looks at it like, if the man cheats, oh my God, he's a pig,
He's a
like,
dog.
not good. If the woman cheats, well, she must not be getting love or what she needs at home.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
there's no
trying to
empathy
upgrade.
for it, and it's still cheating.
So
It doesn't matter.
I think,
but-
like, it'll depend on two things for me. Like, how much it hurt, because sometimes it just doesn't hurt as bad, kind of what you're talking about. Like, if it was some dreamy scenario and maybe you were really living out some kind of thing that you had to live out, I might not take that as badly as if I walk in on it happening. Like
That's never okay. If you
The
walk in on
circumstance-
it-
Never
matter.
okay.
and it hurts a lot more one way or another. It's circumstantial, but like how much it hurts, and then just how much you love someone, It feels like all of the principles that you might make before you're in love are gonna keep intact, and then you get there and it's really confusing because you love them so much and you don't feel like they deserve to be left, or you want to stay with them because you want to see it through. Sometimes you really just want to see it through.
So I'm gonna comment on that because I think it also depends on where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
So like, with you being very young, like you see love very differently than people who are like older, maybe in their 40s and 50s. It's really much more about finding that right person that can be your friend and your companion, rather than like this hopelessly, like kind of what some people call desperate, needy kind of love that they feel like is love. And at that point in your life, like you might not care. You're like, well, as long as this person comes home to me every day and they know where their home is, and you know, it's like we're great friends, like you might not care as much.
I do see that. I feel that comes with age and maturity.
Yeah.
I do see that. But if you're at that level, and then some male dingo is just laying down piping your woman, I'm like, oh hell no, you disrespectful, you know. So I was like, I don't know. I guess for me it's like it will hurt either way, you know.
It will hurt because
I guess,
here
yeah.
they are.
That's what I say.
But let me go back to this because I know you made a statement. You said society looks down on a man when they cheat versus a woman. Do you believe they do that because a woman is more forgiving when a man cheats versus when a woman cheats, a man ready to go and hit the door and they're done. That's it.
That is
Well,
a
I
very,
think,
very good point.
even
Don't feel that way.
as evolved as we are and where we're at in society, and women have powerful positions, we still see them as weak. Like a lot of society sees them as the weaker
Yeah.
sex, and that's not true. But that's how they are portrayed in society, like movies, like television shows. We tend to have more empathy for women than we do for men.
Well, that was a good point what you made though, Shay, where you're saying, yeah, like a man, if his woman cheats on him, he out of there.
Out of there.
He out of there. But if a man cheats, most of the time he is forgiven by his woman. So I do kind of see what you're saying there. Like women are probably thinking, and if he was cheating too, and then he won't forgive her, it's like, oh man, he a hypocrite. Because you know, if you think about it, if you cheating and you can't accept getting cheated on, then you a hypocrite.
Yeah, you know, you also agree with it. I was
Yeah,
just
like-
actually thinking about it.
Like yeah, you a hypocrite. But I do feel that women and men do cheat for different reasons. Like I was saying, if your woman is cheating on you, she is looking to eventually leave you. Like if you notice, most of the time when a relationship ends, a woman has a new boyfriend within a month or two. They have a new one. They have a new dude. That means they were cheating on you before they broke up.
Not true.
Not true.
Not true.
Okay,
Not
well,
at all.
I know you an alpha woman, so maybe not for you.
No. Alpha has nothing to do with it. If I fall, someone is there to catch me. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. Just like with a man, 9 times out of 10, when a man is in a new relationship, she's been there before the other relationship ended.
I think that it's a good point that you brought up, though. Like you said, like there's somebody there to catch you. So it's almost like the mindset is that you need to be rescued from this horrible like position that you were in before, and then somebody out there feels it's their job to rescue you and to take care of you. And it's not, really. I mean, you have to heal within yourself.
Great point, you guys. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause for that. All right. So, you guys think I put y'all to the test with that topic, right? The next topic is clarity. You guys are clear? Y'all clear over there? Look. All right. So, there is a moment of clarity before anyone cheats or a thought of their significant other cross their mind, right? When you agree? Hold on, I didn't believe that. Yes, right?
It's pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious, right? What is the determining factor of following through with it? Uh-oh, the married one. Here we go.
I was just digesting the whole question. I'm not gonna go. I mean,
Well, okay, so I'm just gonna say, like, I think for most people, there probably is gonna be that moment where they're like, they want to do it, but they just can't, or they think everything they have to lose. But you're gonna have some people who are just, that's just in their nature to do something like that. They're not even gonna think about it. They're just gonna do it. And if it's, you know, if it's it's not gonna be one time, it's gonna be multiple times,
Yeah. If you're,
and different people, so.
So what you're saying is that if you're a cheater, you're never thinking about your spouse or significant other.
You're just thinking about yourself.
Wow.
that's,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. Because if you have something special at home, I mean, so you say you have something special at home, but you're still venturing out. It's like, oh, I'm doing it for my own selfish needs, if you know what I mean. But once again, if you have the thought of obviously mental capacity of just thinking about cheating, what's missing? There has to be something missing in order for you to be going elsewhere. My personal opinion, again, I mean, 9 times, there's numerous reasons why people cheat, you know what I mean? And you actually, I'll tell you a story. So, for instance, when I was young, this was like when I was like, maybe like 12. I had a
You cheated
girlfriend.
a lot.
Yeah, I'll be straight. I'll be straight. I cheated a lot. I'll tell you straight.
12?
Yeah! You know, I just,
20 years.
all right. Maybe not 10, maybe 15. But anyway, I was in school. And, you know, obviously, being in school, I was just like, you know, I just had a lot of girls on the go, you know what I mean? But I wasn't thinking about their feelings and how they felt. I was just telling them what they wanted to hear, you know what I mean? But it was when I had one in my head, my thought process was like, I need to get another one. And then I wanted to get another one, and then the numbers kept on growing. It's like, hey, yeah, it's way too much. I don't want to do this no more. It's not fun anymore. You know what I mean? So then, I guess it's like, you know, at that age, or I'll tell you straight, I was immature, wasn't really thinking about anything else. I was just thinking about, once again, my personal needs and what I can accomplish. What I was accomplishing, I don't know what, but, you know, the more girls, the more fun. You know, so I felt it's down to your own personal, selfish needs. Once again, I think that's where we're at with it.
As I always say, the only thing better than having one fine woman is to have 2 fine women. So, but no, one thing I think that can lead from it to be a thought and actually happen is alcohol. Like that.
So you gonna blame it on the alcohol?
I'm gonna be like
That's what we
Jamie
doing
Foxx.
right now?
I'm gonna blame it on the blame it on the vodka, blame it on the Remy.
And that was gonna be my next question, because I know he said that a lot of times something's missing. But with men tend to, the statistics shows that men cheat more than women. But they don't show that there is something missing. They show men just do it for their own selfish satisfaction or whatever y'all do it for. Not y'all, but in general, okay? So with that being said, do you believe alcohol plays a major part?
Oh yeah, of course.
In the facilitating of it, maybe, but in the root of it, no. Like, I don't think that a lack of faith is origined in substance abuse. I think that substance abuse is an indicator of a seriously troubled state. Like, if I don't think it ever has anything to do with something that the partner, well, I can't speak in absolutes like that, but I think most of the time it's going to have something completely to do with a self-righteous cause.
Yeah.
And if something is lacking in the relationship, and if you really care for the relationship, you're not going to cheat. You're going to do everything that you can to desperately try and heal the relationship. I think a lot of reasons that somebody might cheat or seek elsewhere is it could be as simple as the desire to see other people and explore. It doesn't have to be a malevolent act. I think it's a damaging act, but I don't think the butt of it is evil. And I definitely, at least when it comes to alcohol is probably a facilitator in making you feel like your compulsions are right or logical. When those lines of logic and compulsion, which never go hand in hand, when those start to blur and everything starts to run together, things start to matter. Things in the present matter more than what's gonna breed. Yeah,
It gives you
what
a
that's gonna
reason.
breed.
It gives you a reason to not take responsibility for what you did.
Very
You
much
just blame
so.
it on the alcohol.
Yeah,
I was drunk. Well, you know.
but
It's
you
kinda
made
lame,
the
but
choice to
that's-
get drunk
yeah.
to ease the responsibility of your self-righteous cause. You open a campaign to start people will open a campaign to start like adding value to a certain chamber of their ego. You know, like I need this kind of sex, and I met this person who can give me this kind of sex, and I'm not in a place in my relationship where I can talk about working on that. Or, you know, maybe it's not as rudimentary as sex. Maybe it's a certain kind of intellectual engagement, or a certain kind of game, a social game that you can play with somebody that's just really enticing, that you and your partner, it could even be a hobby. It could be a passion for some sort of kind of slice of life that you and your partner don't share. But your love with your partner can be insurmountable, but your ego gets obsessed with a certain slice of life that you suddenly put completely on another person because maybe they have the same interest or a certain kind of.
Okay, I ask you one question.
Yeah.
And like this is like, you know, I'm on a panel with everyone here is cuffed up except for me.
What do you mean cuffed up?
Cuffed up, y'all cuffed up. Y'all are all officers of the law, you know.
It's a way of saying
So if a man's not getting any sex at home, well, I mean any sex, like you know, it might be like years since he got laid. Does it count as cheating if he goes elsewhere?
If he's not getting sex at home,
Yes.
and he's married,
And he's married. He's not getting it.
that's still cheating.
Like I mean, I've heard some stories.
Look,
It's
to
still-
define cheating, if your partner considers it cheating, it's cheating. I think that 100%.
But I don't think it's
100%.
like, I don't think necessarily it always has to do with the sex. It's
That
like
was
they're not
gonna
getting
be my
attention.
next question.
It's
Yes.
They're not getting attention. 'Cause
Like-
as you get older, like, you know, men lose their drive.
Not me. I'm gonna keep going. That's right.
And it's not so much about like that they want to have sex all the time. It's just that they want attention, or they want like,
Companionship.
want a companionship.
I want to get paid.
You know? And so if they're not getting it at home, and they try, and it's not happening because maybe you're two busy people.
Okay, Riggs.